Let's be honest. Freedom doesn't start with a passport stamp. It starts with structure. Most entrepreneurs spend their lives chasing revenue, and that's fine until life catches up. The ultra wealthy, they don't just chase revenue, they chase invisibility. Now you might be thinking, invisibility, what does that mean in the context of my business? It means no one can touch your money, your business, or your wealth. Even if a government, a lawsuit, or a bank comes knocking, they won't be able to touch you. And that's what today's video is all about. Building a layered, bulletproof system using a Panama Private Interest Foundation, a Panama SA, a Wyoming LLC, and a Swiss bank account. We'll also briefly touch on Lombard Loans, which is another powerful strategy in this toolbox. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how these layers work together, and more importantly, how they can protect your wealth while keeping it fully operational anywhere in the world. Now, take a moment and imagine this. What would it feel like to know that your wealth is untouchable, even if something unexpected happens tomorrow? That's what we're building today. Let's start with the typical entrepreneur. You start a business, you get clients, you invoice, you pay taxes, you hire employees. And for a while, life is fine, even pretty good. But here's the thing, it's all under your name. Your personal assets are tied to your business. A lawsuit, a banking freeze, a government investigation, and suddenly, everything you've worked for is at risk. Most people try to protect themselves with insurance, maybe a trust, maybe a separate bank account. And while that helps a little, it's never enough. The wealthy, they don't play defense. They engineer invisibility. They separate ownership, operation, and banking access across jurisdictions. Now imagine this. You run your business in one country, your wealth is legally owned by another, and your bank account sits in a third. That's not cheating the system, that's using the system wisely. At the heart of this system is the Panama Private Interest Foundation. Now, think of this as a legal vault. It owns your assets, not you. Imagine if you own stocks, crypto, intellectual property, and real estate. If these are tied to your name, they're reachable. But once we place them inside a foundation, legally, the foundation owns everything. You are the beneficiary, but your name isn't public. Here's a quick example that I think will help you understand the breadth of what I'm talking about. Let's say you own a few properties in Europe and some stocks in the US. If someone sues you personally, those assets could be frozen and potentially seized. But if the foundation owns them, they can't touch a thing. The foundation doesn't generate income, so it owes no tax in Panama. Think about this. Most entrepreneurs spend years trying to protect their money using small tricks. Offshore account here, an LLC, a trust, but without layering these structures properly. When you do it this way, your personal name is still exposed. The foundation is your first firewall, protecting your identity and your assets simultaneously. Now, the next layer in our structure is the Panama SA. Think of this as your international business entity. You might ask, why can't the foundation operate the business directly? Here's why. Foundations are for protection, not operations. They don't invoice clients. They don't hire employees. They don't generate operational revenue. This is where the SA comes in. It runs your international operations, invoicing clients, holding intellectual property, managing investments. And here's the critical part. The Panama SA is owned by your foundation. Think about it. If someone investigates the SA, they see the foundation as the owner, not you. You're running a revenue-generating company, but legally. It's not tied to your name. Many entrepreneurs skip this layer and mix personal ownership with business operations. That's a huge mistake. It exposes you unnecessarily. The SA ensures compliance, professional operations, and privacy all in one. Now we add the Wyoming LLC, your U.S. operational company. Wyoming is perfect because it's business friendly, low cost, private. This LLC handles your US based operations, but it can also handle your operations anywhere in the world. Think signing contracts, invoicing clients, hiring employees. But here's the magic. It's owned by the Panama SA, which is owned by your foundation. So you have operational freedom in the US, but your ownership is hidden. Think about this. You're doing business in the US, but no one can trace the ownership back to your personal name. You're legally shielded while fully operational. Now, the crown jewel of this structure is the Swiss banking. Your foundation owns the Panama SA, which can hold a corporate Swiss bank account. Swiss banks don't just care about money. They care about the structure and they care about the compliance. With this system, you gain access to private banking, global currency transactions, and Lombard loans. Here's how a Lombard loan works. I'm going to use this example because I think it will really help clarify for a lot of you what I'm talking about. Let's say your Panama SA has $1 million in stocks, bonds, and other assets. The Swiss bank will lend you back 50 up to 80%, which is 500,000 to 800,000, without selling your underlying assets. This allows you to scale your business, invest in new opportunities, and maintain liquidity without touching your core assets. This is what most entrepreneurs don't understand. You can access cash without triggering tax events or selling your underlying investments. Now, let's connect all the layers. First, the foundation owns the Panama SA. Second, the Panama SA owns the Wyoming LLC. Third, the Wyoming LLC runs U.S. operations. Fourth, the Panama SA/foundation holds the Swiss bank account. And fifth and finally, Lombard loans give you the necessary liquidity without selling your underlying assets. This structure provides privacy, asset protection, operational flexibility, and global liquidity. You can live anywhere, do business anywhere, and remain untouchable. Remember, freedom isn't just about passports. It's about designing a system. Panama gives you the legal base. The foundation gives you the shield. The Panama SA handles international operations. The Wyoming LLC handles U.S. operations. And the Swiss banking secures your wealth and provides liquidity. If you're ready to implement this system and take control of your financial future, book a strategy call with me. Freedom has structure, and now you know the blueprint.